So there you have it, everyone. Ding dong, the witch is gone. Hi, everybody. This is Lady Sweetheart, and welcome back to the Disney Princess Challenge. So as you can see, we are here with our super siblings, Cynda and Gavin. It is the morning after the ball, and before everyone else gets up and comes down, Gavin decided he would help his sister make breakfast for everyone because he wants the lowdown on what happened last night. How did his sister end up at the ball in that beautiful gown? And so Cynda's telling her brother all about what happened and how Blair came to her and about how Blair has magical witch powers now. I don't know how much Gavin is buying it, but we know that it's true. Earlier this morning, Prince Louis did go ahead and break up with Drizella. So you will see she does still have a buff for it. She is sad from him breaking up with her. I believe she's also quite furious because this is Drizella we're talking about. You'll also notice that King Noel is not in the household. He has actually been called away very early for some royal duties, unbeknownst to him, arranged by Lady Tremaine. Lady Tremaine actually wanted King Noel away, and we will see why shortly. Gael decided to come up to breakfast in his skivvies in all of his tattooed glory. Not that we mind, but, I kind of get the feeling maybe he did that to annoy Lady Tremaine. That's inappropriate, but it's perfectly okay for her spoiled cat Lucifer to be on the counter and, just climb on the counter and eat people food. So after breakfast, Lady Tremaine has pulled Cynda aside for a private conversation. However, Drizella has taken it upon herself to come in and give her a piece of her mind. She's basically saying to Cynda, I can't believe what you did last night. Louis broke up with me because of you. She's basically just telling Cynda that it's all her fault. And she's basically the reason that Prince Louis broke up with her, which we know isn't completely the truth. While it's true that Prince Louis did fall for Cynda, he also doesn't want to be with Drizella anymore because he's realized what a horrible person she is. Classic case example right here. I have to say, I do like, though, that Cynda doesn't seem to just be taking it from her. I think we would think Cinderella would, but our Cinderella obviously is not like that. She gives a little fight back. But I think that Lady Tremaine doesn't appreciate that Drizella has taken over her conversation. So Lady Tremaine just basically scolds Drizella. And she orders Drizella to go to her room because she wants to handle this. Oh, and Drizella does have the argument loser moodlet because she obviously lost the argument with Miss Cynda. Drizella doesn't seem very happy about being told to go to her room. But she knows better than to cross her mother, so she does decide to do as she's told, leaving Cynda alone with Lady Tremaine. I have a feeling this is not going to go well for Cynda. So Lady Tremaine basically lays into her and, is like, how dare you defy me? I ordered you to stay in your room. I even locked you in your room last night. So the best I can figure is you must have yourself a little witch friend. And I bet you think you're really smart having your little witch friend bail you out, but I can promise you your witch isn't as powerful as my witch. And Lady Tremaine obviously wants to know who helped her out, but Cynda, of course, is not going to rat her sister out. And she's kind of telling a little fib to her, I didn't see who it was. All I know is I had this dress on and I was able to leave the room. And Lady Tremaine's not buying it, but she knows there's not really any way to force the truth out of her. And while she's yelling at her, I definitely think she's going to imply her mother is a llama because we know Lady Tremaine cannot stand Cynda's mom, her husband's lover. She's just going on insulting Cynda, telling her it's all her fault that her daughter now won't marry the prince. And she actually starts to threaten Cynda. She promised King Noel when he left that she wouldn't do anything to his daughter. However, she is telling her, I think maybe I need to get my little witch friend involved, and she can punish you. And trust me, her punishments are a lot worse than my punishments. So it's kind of a way around the promise she's made King Noel. However, Gavin, who is sitting in the other room, has heard all of this, and we know he has a temper, and he has finally had enough, and decides to come in and give Lady Tremaine a piece of his mind. While he's yelling at her, I'm going to have him mock her outfit, like what kind of 50-year-old lady wears this kind of clothing? Gavin is just going to let loose. It looks like Cynda wants to give her a piece of her mind first, though. She's not letting her brother take this over. But, as we said before, Gavin not only has a bad temper, but he's also very protective of the people he loves, including his sister. So he's just had enough. He's telling her, like, how dare you guys? I'm tired of you treating us like this. We're the ones who are actually the king's children. We're the ones that are royal blood, and you are acting like we're nothing better than the dirt on the bottom of your shoes. And he's just telling Lady Tremaine, look, I'm tired of playing your little game. I'm tired of keeping your secret. I think the world needs to know who we really are. I also love that Lady Tremaine is so angry about this, but Gavin, he's good. I don't like you very much, just feeling bitter over a few things that I'll get over or not. Yeah, I don't think he'll get over it. And in the midst of all the arguing, Anastasia's having a hot daydream about Prince Simon. I also like how Cynda decides to drop any pretense of doing any work and just wants to sit and listen to her brother chew out Lady Tremaine. And I'm sure you guys could probably tell this is where this was going, but unfortunately, all of the fighting that occurred all day was just too much for Lady Tremaine's weak heart. I mean, Lady Tremaine, she's not super old. I think we figured out she's like in her 50s. But all the years of extreme dieting and all those surgeries she had done and all those diet pills, they just made her heart just bad. And unfortunately, she just couldn't take all that anger. Also, is it just me or is Gavin cheering that she died? Wow, Gavin, that's harsh. I mean, Cynda doesn't look too upset either, but at least she's not actively cheering. Poor Anastasia, though. I mean, Anastasia, she's kind of a sweetheart, we're finding out. I feel kind of sad that she had to walk in and see her mom die. Oh my goodness, even Gael's coming in. I'm waiting for him to cheer, because, he doesn't like Lady Tremaine either. Well, he didn't cheer, but he did kind of laugh. So there you have it, everyone. Ding dong, the witch is gone. And obviously we had to do this to progress in the challenge because the one thing that we have left for Cynda and her djinn is she does have to get married, and she's not allowed to marry until her stepmom dies. Actually, the rule was the mother or the stepmother, but I didn't see Nivea as being someone that would prevent Cynda from getting married. So to me, it made a whole lot more sense that we would have Lady Tremaine die. So I am actually going to take this and put this in Drizella's inventory because I feel like Drizella would be the one that would be most shaken up about this. But because Drizella has been upstairs in her bed, she doesn't realize that what led to her passing was her argument with Gavin. And even Anastasia didn't know because if you recall, she didn't walk in until it was actually happening. So I think this is going to end up being just another thing that Drizella blames on Cynda because the last she knew was Lady Tremaine was in an argument with Cynda. She was well gone by the time Gavin became involved. But yeah, it is actually 9:30 at night. I will tell you, getting to that point where she died of being enraged was grueling. But we finally did it. And, I didn't want to use any cheats. Like, it does say you can't cheat it. So I couldn't change her mood or give her, like, the angry moodlet or anything like that. Because that would be cheating. Since we did kill her with an emotional death. So early the next morning, King Noel has returned, obviously hearing about Lady Tremaine's demise. So he obviously felt like he needed to rush back home to the castle. And one of the first things they did was they got rid of the ridiculous dress code that Lady Tremaine instituted with, the serving staff. So basically, everyone's allowed to wear what they want now. It says that King Noel is sad, but I'm going to kind of say that, we know he didn't love Lady Tremaine. We know that she made his life miserable. But I'm just going to say that he's sad on account of Drizella and Anastasia for losing their mom. Because we know, like I said before, we know, and many times we've talked about that King Noel has a real heart for kids. And he has known these girls since they were toddlers. He's lived with them since they're toddlers. And I actually think that they don't really have a bad relationship with him. Yeah, see, she actually kind of likes King Noel, and so does Anastasia, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because, again, he's been around them since they were babies. So we're just going to say that he's sad on account of the girls. So King Noel is going to come over and talk to Anastasia and Drizella. I actually have him consoling them about the death. But he's going to let the girls know that they are welcome to stay at the castle for as long as they like. Just because their mom has died, he's not going to kick them out on the streets. We know King Noel is a much better guy than that. And it would be hard for him not to feel kind of fatherly towards these girls, since he has lived with them for so long. But in the meantime, somebody has shown up at the castle doors wanting to talk with Miss Cynda. So I'm going to have Gavin call her over. Now with Lady Tremaine gone, all pretense of sophistication is lost. And, instead of formally getting someone when someone arrives, they're just calling out for each other. So Prince Louis has come over to talk to Cynda. I did actually temporarily add him to the family so that I can control him. But we're going to pretend like he's not in the household. He's just here to pay a visit, and he basically came over to profess his love for Cynda. He is talking to her about, hey, I'm sure you heard, but I did break up with Drizella, me and her through. And of course, Cynda had heard about that because we know Drizella basically chewed her out the day before and blamed her for the breakup. And although it's unfortunate timing with Lady Tremaine having just died the very same day that he broke up with Drizella, and I do think Prince Louis is the type of guy that would feel bad about that. He's talking to her about, like, if anything, this just makes me realize life is short, and I don't want to wait another second before we can be together. Quite honestly, I feel bad. If Drizella wasn't such an awful, awful person, I would feel bad that she lost her mom and her boyfriend all in the same day. But, it's kind of what it'll get you for being a nasty person. It says he has the breakup blues, but I think, honestly, if anything, it's just like it was with King Noel. I think he just feels sad that Drizella has to go through all that she's going through. I think he feels a little guilty about breaking up with her right before her mom died. Which, of course, he didn't know that, but oh my gosh, how cute are these two? I also wanted to show you guys that Prince Louis's name is actually Prince James Louis. So Louis is his last name. You may have noticed that when we were introduced to his brother, Prince Simon. I just didn't put James before because I'm like, it's going to be so obvious who he really is or what we're going to do. But I think everyone's figured out by now that this is going to be Tiana's dad. So his name is now Prince James Louis, which it was meant to be all along. Seriously, how cute are they? I didn't think it was possible that I would ship a couple or love them any more than I loved Noel and Nivea, but my goodness, I think these guys are going to give them a run for their money. And Cynda, she wants to be with James also. She has fallen just as hard for Prince Louis as he has for her. However, there is the little issue of she's been seeing someone else. And so she's being upfront with James about that. I have to be honest with you. It is a little complicated because I've been romantically involved with somebody else. But, she knows that to have a good foundation for a relationship, you need complete honesty from the get-go. If anything, the mistakes her parents have made have taught her that. And it's not like her and Gayul were in a committed relationship. You know, they weren't boyfriend and girlfriend. They were just kind of seeing each other. You know, they were dating. But, you know, Cynda's the type of person that, you know, she's going to try to do the right thing and let Gayul know instead of it just being suddenly sprung upon him like, oh, look, I guess Cynda's with somebody else. Like, she feels like she owes him that. And I would agree. But James and Cynda both want a relationship with each other. They don't want to just date. They know that they want to be together. I'm honestly so excited for their relationship. So before Prince Louis has to go back to the castle, he's going to ask Cynda to be his girlfriend. And I have a feeling she's going to say yes. But he tells her there's one more thing that he did forget the other night, and that was to give her a kiss. Although, truth be told, I think some of it is because of the kind of guy Prince Louis was. Even though he really wanted to kiss her, he was still technically with Gisela, and I don't think he would do that. But this just makes me so much more excited for these two to start their lives together. You know, I really do love them as a couple, and I think most of you do too. But Prince James does have to go, and we actually have to go as well. So on that note, I am going to go ahead and end the episode here. But what I do want to do is technically the only thing we have left to do for the Cinderella generation is we do have to have her get married. But before we do that, I do have a few loose ends I want to tie. You know, for one thing, we know Cynda is going to have that awkward conversation with Gayul. Look, she's just upset just thinking about it. But also, there's just a few other loose ends that I want to tie up. Also, we need to age up Cynda and her siblings because clearly we're not going to have her get married as a teen. So we probably will be going to the cottage next episode. But what I do want to do is I actually am going to go ahead and record that next. So the next video I put up will be Disney Princess again. That way we can get to the wedding and get through this gen. Because like I said, I'm excited to start the next one. And oh my gosh, Ara is like super sad about something. I don't know what she's sad about. Maybe she's sad about Lady Tremaine. I can't imagine that she would be, but you know, maybe she just feels sad about the whole situation. I'm not really sure. So anyway, yeah, we will next time join Cynda and Gavin and the rest of their siblings, age them up. So if you have ideas about traits you want the siblings to have as a young adult, let me know in the comments. I did get a few comments before about what people thought their young adult traits should be. Well, for Cynda, we can't. We have certain ones we have to give her. But for the other siblings, let me know if you have any ideas. And then that way, the episode after the next one can be Cynda's wedding. As always, make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. It does help me understand what kind of content you like. It also really helps my channel out. And I'd also love to hear what you thought about the episode. Drop a comment below. I always love hearing what you have to say. It really, truly makes my day. And some of the comments you guys leave, you're just amazing. So I can't thank you enough. I'll see you later. Bye.